The Plymouth Planning Commission will get its first look Wednesday at a proposal for homes at the Hollydale golf course site. A developer is proposing to build more than 300 homes on the property. The owners of the golf course decided to sell the property last fall. The Planning Commission will also review an environmental assessment worksheet, which helps determine if further environmental review is needed. According to the worksheet, roughly 80% of the 158-acre property could be redeveloped. Wednesday's meeting is simply an opportunity for the commission to provide feedback to the developer. The developer has not submitted a formal project application. The city is accepting public comment on the environment assessment worksheet through February 26. We have a link to it on our website, ccxmedia.org. The Bottineau light rail line that would run between Brooklyn Park and downtown Minneapolis has effectively reached a stalemate due to a lack of cooperation from the BNSF Railroad. But as Delane Cleveland reports, there's an effort underway to resurrect the project.
The Blue Line extension will cross Highway 610 on a new bridge.
3 years ago, the Metropolitan Council released this updated virtual flyover video showing the route of the proposed Metro Blue Line extension.
Trains will pass under Interstate 94.
Today, cities along that route are still waiting for this video to become a reality.
On this project, 9 people have passed away on the Community Advisory Committee. That's how long this has taken. It's insane.
Robbinsdale City Council member George Selman has served as a member of the Light Rail Stakeholder Committee since its inception.
It's very frustrating. You know, a lot of people have been working on this for a very long time, and we have all the funding aligned. We've got all the communities completely in agreement up and down the corridor.
But what they don't have is cooperation from BNSF Railway. The plan calls for the train to operate alongside 8 miles of right-of-way owned by BNSF, but the railroad claims the light rail line raises safety concerns.
I'm disappointed in the railroad. They certainly began as partners and acted like that for more than a decade, and now all of a sudden they seem completely unwilling to be reasonable.
One reason BNSF may have had a change of heart has to do with a decision by the county in 2015. Canadian Pacific wanted to run its tracks through Crystal on BNSF track, but Hennepin County blocked the project by buying a piece of land the railroads would have needed. Commissioner Mike Opat says the county blocked the proposal because the plan would have cut off emergency vehicles in Robbinsdale and Crystal.
There was no alternative there. It was a bad plan by the railroad. We stopped it. And if there's some kind of ridiculous carrying cost that's going on now, that's too bad.
George Selman agreed with that sentiment.
I'm tired of waiting for this. I'm tired of watching people waste thousands of hours because somebody got crabby and took their bat and ball and went home.
And enter the BNSF freight rail corridor.
Now, Selman hopes people higher up in government can help reason with BNSF and resurrect the light rail project.
We need the state government, including the governor, to get on board with this, and if we have to have our federal representation help, that we will do that too.
In Robbinsdale, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
Plans called for the 13-mile light rail line to be open by 2024. The Met Council has not provided any updates to that timeline. As the mental health and well-being of first responders continues to be in the spotlight, local cities are taking steps to provide more resources to their first responders. The city of Osseo approved a physical and mental health plan this week for their officers. Chief Shane Mickelson said this is something he's wanted to implement since starting as chief.
I've been a police officer for 23 years, and I've kind of seen it all, done it all, been a part of everything. And I still, to this day, have nightmares when it comes to certain issues that I've dealt with within this job.
On a similar note, Osseo emergency responders also received Safe Call Now coins during this week's meeting. The coins have the number for a suicide prevention hotline designated for first responders. Robbinsdale mom Carol Castle has handed out coins to several local police and fire departments. She started the nonprofit called Wrestling for Life after her firefighter son committed suicide. Volunteers have been putting their painting skills to good use, hoping the masterpiece they create will help raise money for a food shelf. The annual Empty Bowls fundraiser is in its 10th year, and a pair of volunteers named Sharon are still at the helm. Shannon Slatton has the story.
No two bowls are alike at any Empty Bowls event. Volunteers make sure of that as they donate time and effort to make and glaze bowls for the annual fundraiser that helps Food Shelves, Prism, and Near.
It's definitely something that we rely on, and we are proud to work alongside the Sharons to help them plan this event and make it bigger and better every year.
The Sharons are Sharon Garber and Sharon Plemling, who started working on this fundraiser more than 10 years ago.
We started it because we really were concerned about people in the community not having enough to eat, and knowing that Prism and Near never have enough on their shelves.
Once we got working with the schools, we reached more people, and it's really become more family friendly because it's all about bringing your kids and talking about hunger.
The two have worked in tandem to make the event happen.
We've become very, very good friends, all because we started saying, let's raise some money for Prism.
Last year, this event brought in almost $24,000, and the volunteers are proud of every penny earned.
I think it's hard to earn more money out of a community that has a lot of needs, and so I think it's hard to generate big dollars.
The Sharons hope more people can get involved because not only is it a good cause, but it's good fun too.
Every age is there. They're having a good time, they're getting to know each other, and at the end, they're making a difference for the whole community.
In Golden Valley, Shannon Slatton, CCX News.
The annual Empty Bowls fundraiser is on Tuesday, March 17th at Robbinsdale Cooper High School.
Hopkins girls basketball star Paige Bueckers will play in the McDonald's All-American game this spring, and she was honored in a pregame ceremony earlier this week. Bueckers was selected from more than 900 nominees. She's the second Hopkins player to receive the honor following Nia Coffey, and will be just the fifth Minnesota girl to ever play in the showcase event and the first since 2013.
When I first got announced to be a McDonald's All-American, it was like a dream come true. I watched the game when I was younger, just like dreaming to play in that game. So to actually finally be named to be a McDonald's All-American, it means everything to me.
It makes me feel very lucky. I mean, there's only been 5 in the history of Minnesota girls basketball, and I've had 2. I mean, I just feel like very fortunate, and you know, I just wish her the best, and I think the best is yet to come for her, I really do.
The 43rd McDonald's All-American Games are April 1st in Houston. Two of the teams chasing Hopkins in the Lake Conference are Wayzata and St. Michael-Albertville. Those two teams matched up for the second time in 14 days this week at Wayzata. And a good start offensively for the Trojans. Jasmine Smiley left open on the wing, knocks down a three-pointer. The senior scores 14 points on the night. Olivia Arnebeck has a big first half shooting the ball. Knocks down a three-pointer, 3 of them in the first half, and the Trojans build a 10-point lead. But the Knights rally before halftime. Tessa Johnson finishes on the break, and it's a 2-point game at halftime. Knights guard Mackenzie Kramer is an outstanding 3-point shooter, and she was in a zone in this game. The senior scored 17 first-half points, 16 more in the second half, and had 9 3-pointers in the game. STMA leads by 8. But the Trojans rally on the strength of the inside scoring generated by Annika Stewart. Knights can't stop her. Stewart scores 19 of her 25 points in the second half. Wayzata beat St. Michael-Albertville the second time in the season, 74-72 the final, making the Trojans 20-3 on the season heading into their game with Hopkins. Heritage Christian Academy's girls basketball team is alone in first place in the Minnesota Classical Athletic Association. The Eagles, ranked 9th in Class A, hosted Pact Charter School in a conference game. Eagles senior guard Kirsten Robbins has the hot hand in this game. She hits a 3 for the first points of the game. And later it's Robbins in transition, takes this one all the way for a layup. And she scores 12 of her team's first 13 points. It's 13-0 Heritage. Taylor Shuck drops a pass in to Jordan Allen. She scores off the glass, and the Eagles continue to pile up the first half points. Robbins gets a steal and heads back the other way for another layup. 24 first half points for her. And right before halftime, it's Shuck receiving the pass and then a quick release on a three-pointer that beats the buzzer. Heritage leads 41-2 at the half on the way to a 68-9 win over Pact. The Breck girls hockey team won the state Class A title the last 2 seasons. The Mustangs aim to punch their ticket to St. Paul as they faced Orono for the Section 5A title. The Mustangs come out flying and pump 17 shots on goal in the first period, but Orono goalie Anna Lizel stops everything. It's scoreless after 1. Early in the second period, the Spartans will strike as Kaylee Nickham redirects in the shot by Sydney DeCalbus, and it's 1-0. Breck answers, a nice move by Sadie Lindsay, and she scores to make it 1-1. 10 seconds later, it's Allie Qualley popping in the rebound, and it's 2-1 Mustangs. Orono ties it again, but Ashley Halverson zips a perfect pass to Olivia Mobley. She bangs the one-timer, and Breck is up 3-2. Still in the second, Sadie Lindsay comes off the wall and snaps home another goal for a 5-2 Mustangs lead. They win 6-2 for a third straight section title. We'll have highlights of the Section 5AA and 6AA finals on CCX Sports Jam Show beginning Tuesday afternoon. That's all for sports. More news after this.